Hi there, it's David, John, the Resourceful Coach, and what we're going to talk about today is how to break 100, and we're going to go through 5 shots that if you improve these shots, it's the quickest way to lower your score. And we're going to put them in order of which is costing you the most, and you might be surprised what order it is. Now, my coaching, 80% of my coaching is on the golf course with my golfers. Only about 20% is on the practice ground. So I see all the things that go on the golf course, and what I've learned from this is to understand, what's the key shots that are going to make the difference. And if you're looking to break 100, which is what this video is about, we're going to show you those 5 shots in order of play, the most important to the least important. And as I said, it might shock you. And to be honest, if you're probably shooting early 90s and you want to break 90, you can probably go down this order of play as well, and you'll see the results that you want. So what is number 1? What is the shot costing you the most shots? It's the tee shot. As simple as that, okay? And the reason why it costs you the most shots is people are trying to hit the ball maybe a little bit too hard, a little bit too far. They watch golf on TV. They see these guys hitting it 300 yards. And what do you actually need to do to break 100? Well, you don't even need to hit it 200 yards. If you could hit it 175 yards straight in play, 90% of the time, you're going to have a great day. But the most important thing you got to do is you got to finish the hole with your golf ball. This is the biggest reason why the tee shot costs you the most, because people lose their golf ball. They stand on the tee wanting to hit it miles down the hole, so they pull out the driver. They think that's a really good thing. They stand on the tee box. They're looking down there. We're on the 6th hole at Corinthians. It's a 400-yard hole. We think, I've got to blast it down there. And they get over the shot. They make a swing, and straight away, what do? Bang! They hook it straight out of bounds. Okay. So rules of golf, what is that physically going to do for us? Well, I'm out of bounds. I've got to reload. That's 3 off the tee. So what I need to do is I need to get that ball in play. I've already cost myself 2 shots. If you're losing one of these balls around, it's costing you 2 shots. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's up to 10 shots around it's costing you. If you're shooting early hundreds, 103, you're losing, let's say, 4 balls. Straight away, you can shoot 95 if you just keep the ball in play. So the tee shot is the number 1 reason you're not breaking 100. Now, some of you will be playing this and you'll realize, okay, as a golfer, some of these things, it will be different from golfer to golfer. But this is the average. This is what we're showing you. So if you know you can hit a straight hybrid or even an iron around about that, even 150 to 175 down the fairway, put it in play. Get your golf ball in play. It's going to make a big difference. The goal is finish the round with the same ball. If you do, I'll guarantee you'll break 100 because you're not losing any golf balls. Okay, let's go and look at the second reason why, again, you may not be breaking 100. And again, it might shock you. There's a saying out there, which we'll come to later, which is the biggest load of rubbish in golf. We're going to show you what you really need to improve. So we're here at shot number 2, and it's a pitch really inside 50 yards. This is what is the second shot that people miss up the most. And there's 2 sort of bad shots we tend to play, and they're all because we're trying to maybe use the wrong club. We're trying to go with loft. And what we see golfers do, number 1, is they think, well, I've got to get elevation. They're getting into there. You can see all the trouble over the back of the green. They lean back, and then they thin the ball over the other side of the green. And in that case, I've gone in the bushes. I've probably got to take a penalty drop. There lies an issue. Or if I got lucky, I might be able to just somehow get it out back onto the green. The second shot then, if they do that a few times, they're then probably going to do that and stick it 2 feet or 10 feet in front of them. So this is the second shot that costs you the most. On average, I would say for most people breaking 100, we talked about the tee shot maybe costing somewhere between 4 and 10 shots off the tee. This is costing probably around about half a dozen shots. Okay. So what we've got to find a way is just find a way to get the ball on the green. Anything from here, 20 feet or so away from the hole, you're comfortably going to break 100. If you've ended up on a par 4 here for 2, get it on the green, 2-putt it, job done. So I'm just taking a pitching wedge here, very simple little half swing, pop it on towards the edge of the green, and just let the ball release up the green. Okay, if I can get that ball inside 20 feet, it's going to make a massive difference. So tee shots number 1, that's the biggest coster in the round, somewhere up to maybe 8 to 10 shots to people. This could cost that player, not able to break 100, around about half a dozen shots. Okay, we're going to go and look at the third shot now that makes a massive difference and what we need to improve. So here's our third shot. It's a shot over 150 yards. It's a little bit like the tee shot. It's the shot most people after the tee shot will lose a golf ball. Why? Because they may be trying to hit the ball too hard. We're 220 yards away from this green, and if I'm looking to break 100, all I need to do really is move that ball down the hole about 150 yards. That should be an iron. Just move it down there nicely. But we don't. We pull out the hybrid, we pull out the fairway wood, and we think we need to hit it. Again, what happens here is now we put it in serious trouble. We're standing here, we're trying to hit it hard, and then end up hitting it straight in the trees on the right side. Could be a lost ball. Could be an unplayable ball. Maybe I've just got to chop it out sideways. Either way, in that situation, it's costing me a lost ball 2 shots, chipping out sideways at least a shot. So you can see how we're losing shots that way. So sensible play. You might still be able to do it with a hybrid and just hit it a bit softer, but just take something like a mid-iron, something like a 7-iron, 6-iron. What do we need to do? Well, if you can keep that ball moving 150 yards down the hole. We're on a hole here, it's 400 yards. I've got it to here, I've hit it 180 yards off the tee. If I can now just move this 150 or so yards down the fairway, it's going to leave me now a shot into the green that I can put on the green, 2-putt. I've made my bogey. If I want to break 100, I've got to make 9 bogeys and 9 double bogeys. I've just made that so much simpler. But this is the third shot that costs us, after the tee shot and after the pitching. Okay, let's go and look at the fourth shot. So here's shot number 4, and I bet you thought it was going to be number 1. There's that famous saying we mentioned earlier, drive for show, putt for dough. Well, that really is only matter if you're a tour player. Okay, your putting is going to make the biggest difference. If you're looking to break 100, you've got to get the ball to the green in the first place. So we're going to show you a bit of data here to show you with putting what you actually need to achieve to break 100. I'm going to look at 3 length of putts. Number 1, what we call your 50-50 putt. And it's only about 4 feet, just over the length of a putter. Okay, if you can hole half of these, you're doing what you need to do. Okay, don't get upset when you miss one. If you finish a round and you've got 4 3-footers and you're holing half of them, you're doing what you need to do for your level. That's the important thing. So that's the first number you're looking at. Okay, if we can roll that in from there, perfect. Okay, second number. This is your average 2-putt. We're talking around about 15 to 18 feet. So around about 6-7 paces from the hole. If you can consistently 2-putt from here, this is an area we see golfers will 3-putt. If you 3-putt it from this distance, then you are losing a complete shot. You are losing half a shot if you missed it. But remember, you gained half a shot if you hold it. So that's what I'm saying. Hole half of them, you're doing what you've got to do. You hole any of these, you're gaining a full shot. Okay, against what you should be doing. But if you can roll this down, get it into the, go to the practice ground, practice putting green, start to get into your mind, 6-7 paces, roll this down close to the hole where you think, next time, I'm going to get that down in 2. Okay, I've got it there, down in 2, job done. Now, the next putt is probably the most important one to understand, because we have this mindset that we should get 2 putts on every hole, 36 putts. But nobody does that if they're putting from 60 feet. If I'm putting from 60 feet, even as a professional golfer, I'm going to 3-putt that probably around about 40% of the time. If you're looking to break 100, if you're shooting over 100, I'll guarantee you are 3-putting that at least 90% of the time. So don't beat yourself up if you are. That's a long putt. Imagine if you were just off the green chipping, you chipped it on and 2-putted, it's no different. You'd probably be quite happy with that because remember what you've done, you've just 2-putted. But you chipped from off the edge of the green, it's still 3 shots. A tour player, we're talking about the best players at the moment. We've just had the Ryder Cup from 60 feet. How many times are they going to 3-putt it? Probably on average, we're talking about 25% of the time. And these are the best players in the world. The problem is you only see the winners. And they'll hole a few of them. That's why they win that week. So, if you're looking to break 100, get rid of that idea. Drive for show, putt for dough. We've shown you, number 1, keep the ball in play. Okay, don't lose any balls. It's going to make a massive difference. Yes, this will make a difference. Don't add up your putts. Work out where you're putting from. Look at those 3 different levels. 4 feet. If you're holing half, you're doing what you've got to do. 15 to 18 feet. If you're two putting, you're doing great. And if you are three putting from 60 feet, that's okay. If you're two putting, you're gaining shots. You're doing brilliantly. So that's our fourth shot. We've had driving, we've had pitching, we've had over 150 yard shots. Now we've had putting. We've got one final shot that is costing you guys. And as I said at the start of the video, it may be just one of these or two of these that are costing you. Just work out what you need to go and practice. But this is on average what is costing people when they play. Putting, to break 100, most people are probably losing about 4 shots. Okay, 3-4 shots around. It's not that much. But we'll add all of these up at the end of the video, and we'll go and look at our final shot that will make a massive difference to your game. So here is our 5th shot, and it's that shot between 50 and 150 yards. And it's quite interesting because I sort of look at these 5 different shots and I think, well, why is this the one that doesn't cost the most? And the only thing I can put it down to is when we probably start, we first go to the driving range and we learn with something like a 7-iron, a little half swing, and we get a feel for the shot. And to be honest, when I've coached people, they've got reasonably good at that shot, maybe using an 8, 7-iron, hitting it somewhere between 100 and 140 yards. And when they go to the golf course, they do reasonably well with those sort of distances. And especially if they're on a par 3. It's always that hole that I'd say if it's a 140 yard par 3, because they know they can reach the green, they probably relax. They don't feel like they've got to do anything amazing. And more often than not, they put it on the green. So this is just my experience, what I've seen with golfers. But again, to break 100, what do we need to do? Well, we need to get down in 4 shots from this position. We're around about 100 yards from the green. If we can get down in 4 shots, we're doing fine. Okay, if you've happened, this particular hole here is the 8th hole at Corinthians. It's only a 240 yard hole. If I hit my tee shot 140, 150 yards to here, and then from there I can put it on the edge of the green, and then I can get that down in 3, I've just made a bogey. And remember what we said earlier on in the video, I need to make 9 bogeys, 9 double bogeys, and I will shoot 99 on a par 72 golf course. A par is just going to gain you loads. Bogeys are going to gain you loads. It's getting rid of the doubles, it's getting rid of the triples, it's getting rid of the quadruples. That's the key thing. But what I find with golfers with this shot, again, it's just that psychological thing. They've not got to try and flip it up in the air. They haven't got to hit it a long way. And they tend to find then these are the smoothest swings they make going into the green. So they end up somewhere down towards the intended target. They get the results that they want. And the second hole here at Corinthians, I'll guarantee the higher handicap golfers, relative to the par, on average, that's the hole they do the best. Because it is a 140 yard par 3. So there are our 5 different shots. Let's put them in order again. Tee shots. What I see with the higher handicap golfer, you're losing balls. You're putting balls in trouble. You're having to take penalty drops. On average, costing somewhere between 6 and 10 shots around. Even if that's your area and you improve that, as we said earlier, if you're shooting, let's say 105, you've now got a chance to shoot nearer to 95. The second shot is the pitch shot. Everybody seems to think as a starting golf, they've got to try and help the ball up. They thin it, they duff it in front of them. Before you know it, again, that's probably costing on average half a dozen shots around. Like the tee shot, when you've got a shot over 150 yards, this is our 3rd shot, we tend to find people are trying to hit it too far, too hard. We just need to advance it 150 yards down the fairway. But again, that's losing somewhere but probably between 4 and 6 shots around for a player who's finding that an area of their game they're struggling with. As we said earlier, the bit you probably thought, you've been told all the time, putting is the shot you will save most shots. Yes, if you're 3 putting from inside 20 feet, you will save a lot of shots. But if you're on that green 50, 60 feet from the hole and you're 3 putting, you're doing nothing wrong. That's really important to understand. Go and practice those 4-footers, hole half of them. All right, if you're holing half from 5 feet, go and give yourself that challenge. You're a single-figure golfer. Okay, if you can hole half from 8 feet, you are a tour player. So that's really important to understand when we look at these different shots, where you're going to gain and lose shots. Just because you've 3-putted it doesn't mean you had a bad hole. Depends where you're putting from. And then our final shot, probably only costing golfers 2 or 3 shots around, is that shot, as I said, between 50 and 150 yards. It looks like the shot they don't try as hard for some reason, but I think it's because it's a shot we're a little bit more in our comfort zone. But as we look at these 5 shots, it's an easy way to break 100. Bring your expectation level down. Even if you only get 3 or 4 things from this video. Number 1, learn to drive it 175 off the tee. You will break 100. Be able to advance your ball down the fairway 150 yards. You will break 100. From 50 yards and in, chip it on within 20 feet. You will break 100. If you can 2-putt from that 20 feet, you will break 100. Hole half from 4 or 5 feet, you will break 100. And if you can get the ball near the edge of the green from 100 yards, you will start breaking 100. It's just getting that consistency. I hope this video has helped you, and I hope it will allow you to break that 100. Hopefully use those ideas. Maybe it'll start breaking 90. But if you keep it simple, you will start to get much, much better results on the golf course. If you have enjoyed the video, please share it with your friends. Please subscribe to the channel, press that little bell. Videos go out every Tuesday and Friday, working on all different areas, a lot of it on the golf course, mind, technique. But please subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you soon.